Glendale is home to the Seaport. What started out as a small wharf in the 1800s has morphed into a large, successful industrial area. There's an oil refinery where fuels are exported and imported, a coal yard to load barges bound for upriver, a large ore dock to load ocean-going freighters, a ferry terminal to take passengers across the harbor, and also a railroad ferry that takes railroad cars across the harbor. 24/7, 365 days a year, something is always moving at Glendale Seaport. Larry was sent to the Seaport to help Taylor for a while and to give him a nice change. But even with Larry's extra help, another engine was still needed. So Miss Caldwell contacted the other railroad to see if they could spare an engine. Unfortunately, the only engine they were able to spare was Miles. Miles had came to the Southern United Railroad on trial before. He was very rude to the steam locomotives because they have to use turntables and rods to turn around. He got his comeuppance when, trying to show off by running fast backwards, crashed through the end of a dock and ended up in the sea. He was repaired and quickly sent away after that stunt. Miles certainly was not pleased with coming back to the Southern United Railroad. Larry and Taylor were shifting freight cars when they saw him. "Oh," huffed Taylor, "they brought you back out of all engines? Trust me, I do not want to be back here working amongst you engines," Miles replied. "Well," grumbled Larry, "why don't you do us a favor and throw yourself off the dock again? That got you sent away quick the last time." Miles did not like being reminded of that accident. "You rusty piece of scrap," he rumbled. "I ought to come on that track and..." A huge argument then broke out between the three engines until the dock manager sent Miles away to collect some freight cars. "Why would Miss Caldwell bring him to help us?" Taylor asked Larry. "I can't really blame her," Larry sighed. "Think about it. We had Mr. Regan when that happened. And I'm pretty sure the railroad Miles came from has also got a new manager. Neither of them knew what happened the last time Miles came here." "Let's just hope that's the only incident," Taylor said. "I'm very unhappy to say that it wasn't. Miles did do his work, I have to admit, but he was insufferable to deal with. It seemed like he couldn't go anywhere without starting some kind of argument with someone." It didn't take long for the engines to get very tired of it. Late that afternoon, Seamus came to speak to Larry and Taylor. "I need an engine to go to Pier 69 tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to pick up the trash train." Larry and Taylor looked at each other and remained silent. No engine liked to take the trash train from the Seaport to the dump. It was a dirty and smelly job. "I don't care who goes," continued Seamus, "as long as someone is there in the morning to take it." And he walked away. "Larry, can you please take it?" pleaded Taylor. "Oh no," stuttered Larry. "You take it. This is your branch line." "Well, one of us has to," complained Taylor. "Wait," thought Larry. "It doesn't have to be one of us taking it." "What do you mean?" asked Taylor, and Larry explained. And Taylor smiled a very mischievous smile. A little later, Larry and Taylor were getting freight cars unloaded when Miles came in to collect some hoppers. They made sure to speak loud enough for him to hear. "Larry, you've been such a help to me these past few days. I think you should go to Pier 69 tomorrow to collect that special train." No, replied Larry. "Taylor, this is your branch line. It will be more right for you to take the special train tomorrow." "Well, I guess," added Taylor, "whichever one of us is up at 5 a.m. will take the special." "That's fine by me," agreed Larry. Pondered Miles to himself. "A special train." And he rumbled away with his cars. At 5 a.m. sharp, Miles awoke. He looked over and saw that Larry and Taylor were still asleep. "You snooze, you lose, steamers," he said quietly and backed away. Unbeknownst to him, Larry and Taylor were only pretending to be asleep. They had told him the wrong time deliberately, so he wouldn't find out right away what he was really going to pick up. Miles arrived at Pier 69, where some empty gondolas were waiting for him. I guess the boat must be late, he thought to himself. After about an hour, Miles was becoming impatient, until he heard the tugboat's horn. Finally, at last, he said to himself. All right, Tug, he said, where's my... He then looked and saw what was in the tugboat's barge. Hey, toy boat, I think you're at the wrong dock. First off, grumbled the Tug, don't ever call me a toy again. And B, I am at the right dock. That's impossible, protested Miles. I was told a special train was supposed to leave from here. And you brought garbage here. Did you bump your radiator on the shed door? This is where the trash train's supposed to leave. There's nothing special about it. It departs from here every week. It was then when Miles realized that he had been tricked. Oh no, I am not taking this trash train, he grumbled. But it was too late at that point to take him off the train. He was stuck. Once the smelly garbage was loaded, he departed. Larry and Taylor were wide awake now, and as Miles passed, they laughed so loud everyone thought that they could hear them all the way back in South Plainsville. Other rangers that also arrived at the Seaport to pick up their trains also laughed loudly as Miles passed. Miles was livid. That afternoon, Larry was pushing some cars into a siding when he smelled something awful. Driver, what is that? He asked. I don't know, Larry, but I smell it too. Then Larry looked at the yard entrance. Well, look at this, he chuckled. Miles had arrived back completely covered in garbage. How did you manage to get yourself covered in garbage? Larry asked. Miles said nothing. I'll tell you, the caboose said cheerfully. In a fit of rage, he blew his horn rushing the crane, startling the dump truck. It backed into a pile of garbage and, well, you see the result. Well, before you go near anybody else, I would suggest you go get a quick wash down. Or to make it even faster, you can always throw yourself in the harbor again, teased Larry. Urgh, growled Miles. Then Taylor pulled alongside. Well, you know what they say. One man's trash is another one's treasure. This was too much for Miles. He rolled away from Larry and Taylor and retreated to his sheds and didn't leave for the rest of the day.